I'm Jim Ratajczyk with AP Logic. Good morning or good afternoon to all of you. We help companies focus their communication systems and their culture so that nobody in the business has to wonder where to find files or messages to do their job. I kind of call it eliminating organizational ADHD. And we do it primarily by helping companies migrate and simplify their structures in Teams and SharePoint and adjust their culture accordingly so that they can be focused and have clarity in terms of what they're supposed to do and where they find information in their business. I think in a world of overload and sporadic, scattered messages everywhere, it's something that I didn't even realize myself how badly I needed it for my business, and I certainly didn't expect the number of challenges and things that other businesses are having that we're now helping them with.
So for those that may not know me, I wear quite a few hats in our industry. So I have a 25-year MSP business here in Southern California, and I happen to be about a 12-year Microsoft MVP. And I run peer groups for MSPs. And then more in line with the topic today, I also do events for our channel called S&B Tech Fest. And they happen 4 times a year. If you've never had an opportunity to check them out, you're pretty much looking at our main stage right there. And the event is in sunny Southern California. And some of the things that kind of make the event unique is that it's done from a partner MVP perspective. And I love panels. Panels like today that bring experts on and share from a partner perspective back out to partners. So we can talk more about it, but there's a link, and delighted to be here today.
So, I'm a big believer in hands-on labs. We do probably 20 to 25 hands-on labs a month for our partners, right? So we actually put the cheeks into the seats, right? For our, it's a way of putting it, we find the people on the cloud consumption journey and put them in there, right? But I'll tell you one thing. So when I left Microsoft, and I think this is the best way of doing it. When I left Microsoft, I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to get my name out there? How am I going to work with other partners, right? And what should I do? Should I spend money on, all different types of marketing, right? Advertising and doing this and all that stuff, kind of keep them relevant. And I thought to myself, actually the better way of doing it is putting on an industry call. And that's where we came up with the idea of Voice of the Microsoft Partner. Okay, we started really, really small, and it's blown up, to some really interesting. Last year we had one event that had 2,600 partners on. The AI one is crazy. So we fluctuate up and down. But what I'll tell you is we've been doing this for about 4 years now, which is crazy to think about. 4 years we've been doing that, and we're building up a great base. We get probably 200 to 300 views of this full hour, within about a week of actually presenting this, right? So my idea was, what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put together an industry call, and I'm going to provide education. And as you know, with us, we don't commercialize this very much, right? We really don't. You hear about Sherman or Crancer Group in the very beginning in a little commercial, but I'm not here to tell you like, hey, come buy me, because I thought, a better way of doing this is raising my profile in the industry, right? By then interviewing really good people so that you, the partner, okay, who's my customer, can get ideas on how to make your business better, faster, quicker, and whatnot. And naturally then what we end up having is a lot of organic conversations afterwards. And I think that this is actually probably one of the most powerful ways of growing your business is consistently putting something together. And have you been successful with event marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the great thing about it. Regardless of what size partner you are or what budget you have, you can do this, because we do lunch and learns that maybe only have 15 people that attend, but that's what you want out of a lunch and learn. You want that more intimate environment. And as Sherman said, we can bring in a subject matter speaker that may only speak for 10, 15 minutes, but boy, will that be a valuable 10 or 15 minutes. And I'll kind of give a fun plug, and that is Microsoft MVPs are always looking for opportunities to speak at events because it's part of their give back to the community. And I also do, SMB Tech Fest, larger event, several hundred partners attend. But regardless of what size you are, you can team with another partner that complements what you do, and that way you can have that budget together. Oh my gosh, pull in a nonprofit. If you pull in a nonprofit partner, you can probably get the venue at nonprofit rates. So there's all kinds of things you can do. And MDF funds, a lot of vendors want you to have events, and they want you to talk to your prospects. And they're willing to put, money on the table to help you promote your business. So there's a lot of ways we can dive in more, but there's a lot of ways that you can do to get started: online, in person, lunch and learns, partner with somebody, MDF, nonprofit, all of these things allow anyone to really get started and then scale it to the size that meets your need.
Yeah, sure. And in fact, in our case, we had to be a little more organic and do a little more guerrilla marketing, in a sense. I didn't have the experience in the background and the connections that you guys had. But backing up just a little bit, what had happened, the prelude to this was we were a custom dev company that had transitioned into doing the work I was just talking about, helping people get focused in Microsoft Teams and SharePoint. And we needed a way to sort of launch. I needed some sort of like fine break in the progression for our company, when our partners would know that we were doing something new and different. And prior to that, our company was based up in Central California, and I'd actually started flying. The way I came to the Microsoft partner community in Southern California was by flying down. So my very first IMCP meeting that I ever attended, I flew a small airplane down to Santa Ana, got a rental car, went over, walked in the room, said hi to a bunch of people, had no idea what I was talking about or what I was doing there. And then fast forward, that was 10 years ago. And what ended up happening, we ended up opening an office in SoCal right at an airport there. And so I took advantage of that situation to actually rent out a venue that was in the office building where they actually do weddings and things like that, and they have full food service and a bar and all that. And so we said, hey, why don't we do something fun? Because when most of the partners found out that I was a pilot and I was flying to IMCP events and flying to meet clients at the time, I had a big client engagement in SoCal, and we flew on a weekly basis. It actually enabled me to get down there, work a full day with the client, and fly back without having to rent hotels and do all that kind of thing. So it was really something other partners were interested in. They said, hey, can I learn to fly? And there are actually several of you that have at this point. And so I decided to kind of mix it up, and this was kind of what spiced it up. We did the guerrilla marketing thing, and we had held the event at the airport where our office is in SoCal, and kind of invited some pilots to come, invited some other aviation types, and then invited all the I'll call them the geeks from the tech community that I was connected with through Microsoft IMCP primarily. And so we did that. And I'll get into some other things a little bit later, but we made this event where people got a chance to learn a little bit about aviation and how you can enjoy it personally or professionally, and talk about our launch of our new information focus that we're working on with Microsoft Teams and SharePoint. So that basically went out in the form of email messages. I worked through a bunch of partners. There was a few other partners that came over, and so that was how we were able to make that event a success. And so people really enjoyed that. It went better than I thought it would. We did some little geeky things. We had, if you're a tech person, you had a little laptop sticker you could put on your shirt. If you were an airplane person, you had a little airplane. So we, kind of mixed and met people through that.
But seminar selling. Okay, some of you may have heard this before in the past that I talk about this, but you have to understand that seminar selling, there's very specific metrics. Imagine if you have 100 people that come in. Okay, 100 people come in, and they're here to listen to you talk about Microsoft Fabric. This is a good example. Okay, because they want to learn about Microsoft Fabric. So 3%, 3 people are ready, willing, and able to buy today. This is the metric. We had Gartner do this for us when I was at Microsoft, 3%. Now, between 4 and 20 of those people are ready, willing, and able to buy, but they don't trust you. Okay, they don't like their person, but they don't trust you. Okay, and then from 20 to 100 of those people, the 80% are people that are here to learn about information. They're happy about their current provider, or maybe they don't. Maybe they're in a contract, or maybe they haven't decided when they're going to do it, but they came to that your session. Okay, so your real target market, and this is why I want to explain it, because it's a long tail process. Those 3 are great, right? You can talk to them right away. But what you have to also think about is, okay, now I've got 100 people that came into my event that for different reasons, they're interested. So you got somebody who's interested. It's very hard to find people that are interested in something, right? Save the date. We got Nick Heddy next month to talk about the dynamic and crucial role for business growth with distributors. We're going to ask him like how he's doing certain things, right? And it'd be kind of good just to see, what's Pax8 up to, right? With that. So we look forward to having you there. And lastly, if you need to contact us, that's where our contact slide will come in. But we're landing the plane here.